Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and today I want to dedicate a video to not only bringing my opinion on what the new working titles 787 and 747 are like a couple days after release, after I've done a couple more flights and also done a couple more videos on it, but I also want to address a couple of the comments I've gotten in the video below that I did earlier. So, let's get started straight away. I'm currently flying the 787 from Frankfurt to Houston. Lots of stuff to do for me today as I'm preparing to move to a new flat, so I just need a little bit of time en route, and I thought the 787 was a very good ride to do that. Now, as I just said, a very good ride to do that. So, what exactly leads me to this conclusion that this is a very good ride? Well, a lot of you have correctly pointed out that the plane has quite a couple bugs. Now, that is absolutely and totally expected at the moment. Keep in mind, this is a very first beta version of the aircraft, so expecting anything even close to being finished would be utopic at best. Now, I have done beta testing for the past 10 years and longer indeed even, and I do tend to say that I have a good idea of what an airplane looks like initially and what it's then going to look like at the release. Now, obviously, this is not the same on every single aircraft, but let's dive into it, and let's dive into what the 787 can do at the moment and what it cannot do at the moment. So even in the present version, even though there are a couple bugs that can really impede the fun of flying, just thinking of the incorrect radio altimeter callouts there is still a lot of work that went into this. And if we just think about what we have available, we have an FMC that works to a very large extent. Like, I can pretty much insert everything I need on the SOP here. The only thing that I'm missing a bit is step climb functionality, which would have been very nice on a long-haul airliner to have. But maybe it's coming, maybe it's not, who knows. Apart from that though, well, offset is a thing that I still have to try with this airplane. I haven't done that yet. But apart from that, the FMC is really doing what it's supposed to do. There are a couple problems with the autopilot every now and then, like a mode that's not responding 100% as it should, but I mostly got the airplane to do pretty much exactly what I wanted to do, with a little bit of workarounds on the VNAV descent. So, again, I am primarily listing negative points here about the airplane, so how about we just have a quick look into the positive aspects there, which is something that can easily get omitted. Now, those who know me will know that I'm not the kind of YouTuber who just screams out like, oh, everything is great, everything is great. No, I normally focus on the more negative aspects, because I know that there are tons of guys out there who simply praise every single airplane down to the Captain's Scam aircraft for being study level. Now, that is not the case for me, but nonetheless, I just want to use the opportunity to point out how far flight simulation has gotten, and indeed how far this Boeing 787 has gotten. Indeed, people under my videos have often pointed out that the plane would still be so buggy and that it would still be worse than freeware mods and so on. And I honestly disagree with that. The plane does 99% of the things that I'm doing under a normal SOP operation. And that is absolutely amazing, seeing that this is going to be a default aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator. If I'm thinking 5 years back, then a similar level of system fidelity could already be sold for 30 or maybe even 50 euros on the third-party market. And having something like this available in the default simulator is absolutely and truly amazing. Obviously, there can always be enhancements done, and I did have a little chat with some of the working title developers, and indeed, those third-party mods is something that they absolutely have in their mind to enhance their aircraft afterwards. Ultimately, they don't aim to provide a study-level simulation with this, but rather they aim to provide a very good base on which then third-party modders can go ahead and provide more content. And I'm absolutely sure that this is what's going to happen. Indeed, for those of you who have flown the 787 a little bit already, you might notice that mine sounds a little bit different than yours does. Well, I've got the FTSIM Plus sound pack there, which I have been gifted by one of my users, and this is an absolutely tremendous sound pack. I really like what it's doing to the 787. Just a quick listen to some stuff like this. You know, this is the basis that Working Title are providing with the 787 there, and I am really, really happy with it. Is it study level? No, of course it's not. But nobody intends to make it study level either. They intend to make it a very enjoyable simulation that you can use to, well, enjoy your Microsoft Flight Simulator flights. And honestly, for me, the level of system depth we've gotten in here is absolutely enough to enjoy it on a 10-hour flight across the Atlantic, as I am doing right now. So ultimately then, what do I think of the 787? Well, I guess you kinda got it on the previous part of the video, but I really like it. Obviously there is stuff that still needs to be ironed out, but this is the first beta version, so expecting things to be complete would be quite foolish, and obviously things are not going to be anywhere even close to complete. It's not the intention of it to be there right now. In my opinion, this is an absolutely lovely add-on to fly, and it's a lot of fun. Not close to the study level stuff, but let's be honest here, even when I flew the 737 in the sim, I rarely touched those study level systems that, that I would be using to prepare for a simulator check ride. That's not what this plane is intended to do. It's intended to give you a lot of fun on a normal A to B flight, like 99% of the flight simmers are doing. And honestly, in my opinion, it is very, very good at doing that. Obviously, a bit of the stuff, I'm still looking through the potential of the airplane here and projecting like what it's going to be like in the future. Thinking takeoffs over here, thinking landings over here. But that is stuff that I'm sure Working Title is still going to improve. Alright then, so I've talked for about 7 minutes now on what I like about this airplane and what remains there to be done. Now, let's quickly address a couple of the comments that I see underneath my videos. Now, technically speaking, this is a topic for a separate video already, and I'm probably going to do one at some point. But I just quickly want to point out that in the comments below the videos, I notice more and more that people only seem to recognize two different levels of simulation, which is basically Captain Scam level and then study level. Now, it is worth saying that at present there is only 2 real study level aircraft in the simulator, and the entire rest of it, well, the entire rest of the decent aircraft is playing in between the beginner's level and study level. Because that is what 99% of flight simmers are looking for anyway. I mean, tell me, when did you last run a triple hydraulic failure in the Phoenix Airbus? When did you last run a dual engine failure in the PMDG 737? Most people do that once, and then never again. In any case, the thing that I really want to emphasize here is that we are in a world where not everything is black and white. There is a lot more between study level and, well, Captain Scam level. And ultimately, that is where the vast majority of add-ons is going to be seated. And that is actually the level of system depth where people get the most out of. Now, maybe that is a point to think about for a lot of the critics out there as well. Like, you can see both extremes at the moment in the 2 top-tier add-ons. The PMDG 737 has absolutely lovely systems and very nice visuals, but it's still lacking in EFB, which is something that a lot of people are criticizing, and that I totally understand they are. Now look at the other side. The Phoenix has a splendid EFB and very good systems, but it's still lacking on the side of flight models and on the side of the sounds. So there just is no entirely complete package available out there at the moment. And nobody should be striving to get one at these days, because there simply is none. Now, ask yourself, what do you need from an add-on to enjoy the most out of it? For me, that is standard A to B flight operations. Obviously, things like very good visuals, an EFB, good systems, good flight dynamics, all of it basically comes together. But we are still talking about a computer game here. Oh no, he said it! So we are still talking about a computer game here, and overall, for me it comes down to the impression the overall package leaves. And there are a couple very, very good add-ons out there. I'll have a video on what's my favorites up in the sooner future, but this is just something I want to give a couple of people along for some lines of thought. So, thank you very much for watching, and I surely hope that you enjoyed this one. Do let me know what you think about my lines of thought that I gave out in this video, and I'm really looking forward to hear your opinion on them. Thank you very much for watching. I'm looking forward to see you all again, hopefully very soon. And in the meantime, have fun flying whatever aircraft you're currently flying, whether it's study level or whether it's a TIE fighter. And I see you around hopefully very soon.